A community can be stronger through communications, and there is no communication more powerful than television. The new Abington High School has a state-of-the-art television studio where student interns are learning the craft of TV storytelling. In 2 half-hour episodes, 7 Abington High School students who participated in the very first storytelling workshop will show us how quickly they learned the craft of video storytelling. Our community will be more informed, have more understanding through the stories these students have produced, and will see more clearly the character of the town we live in. And you, the audience, are invited to learn right along with the student interns. Let's join the video storytelling workshop. Hello and welcome to our special show on learning to tell a video story. I'm Dan Brillman, one half of e-awakening.com and host of Playing Guitar, Writing Songs, and my wife Marilyn and I have been in the video storytelling business for many years, and we're happy to share our experiences with you today. I am joined by Justin Shanahan, the Executive Director of Abington's Community Access Television. Justin, can you tell the audience a little bit about our workshop?
The workshop that we put together was a great opportunity for the community, the students, and for us. We were able to create an atmosphere that challenged and also gave students the ability for their creativity to flourish. I love the fact that you and your wife Marilyn were so eager in helping and create this workshop that I want to do it again.
Marilyn and I have been thinking about this workshop for a long time, and we've actually introduced it to other people, but you were the first person to actually grab a hold of the concept and run with it, so we have you to thank for that. And we have an introductory story about the workshop that we used as an example of how to put a video story together. This picture is what we call a timeline. Each rectangle above the line is video, on-camera stand-ups, voiceovers, and interviews. Below the line is the audio. It might look simple, but it's not easy. Let's watch the video that goes with this timeline. You're here at this video storytelling workshop to produce a short video story. The simpler the story, the better.
Today, we're going to all be taking turns in front of the camera, acting as the reporter, and being the person interviewed.
Marilyn Brillman is teaching this video storytelling workshop because she believes in local access TV, and
video is very underused. I think it has great potential. It has great potential in our local cable.
Like that, or is that too much?
That's good.
Abington CAM's Executive Director Justin Shanahan has teamed up with the Brillmans because he wants his interns to excel in television. And Justin knows television.
Shot composition, audio, journalism. There's not a day that's been the same. And that's the excitement behind the television broadcast. Nothing is ever the same. Technology moves so fast.
Right. What would you want to be titled as a student?
My interest in video production is getting to see the different side of what you're filming and like just the whole storyline, like editing all the footage and seeing how the final product comes out.
And this workshop is all about the students, the future of television, perhaps the future of local access TV. This was our very first video storytelling workshop, and it was highly successful, and we learned a lot. And we're going to have the students showing us the stories that they produced. Justin, who's the first student?
Our first student today is Connor. Connor's the coach. A student producer came to us through the a media class that actually the school had here with Mr. Shannon. Connor, can you tell us a little bit about that class?
So with the class, it was just a lot of intro to like film, how to make a movie or a story, different types of equipment, the editing, the process, just everything put together. And we made videos. We did different projects, like a how-to video, like a project about ourselves, or we went out on the field and did videos about like Jeff Coombs' race. Yeah. It was just a a lot of fun the whole year.
And then, Connor, you came to our video storytelling workshop and you produced a story that we're going to look at right now.
At Abington High School, the drama program is a chance for students to get involved with theater. Currently, the program is doing the musical Grease, so I decided to interview the director and the main roles of the musical to get their input on the drama program. Why should someone join the drama program?
Well, I hope that anyone who has an interest in singing or dancing or performing, acting, would be, wanting to participate. Well, I think we offer a great program, and I think it would be something that people would have a lot of fun doing.
What does it take to join the program?
I think first and foremost, I think people just have to have a desire to want to do something. In our school, I think so many students are involved in athletics, and I think it's sort of so that to think about being in the drama club is outside of their comfort zone. So I would just say if you're willing to step out of that comfort zone and take a risk and take a chance, then you just sort of have to walk in the door.
How does one join the program?
We have auditions. We have 2 shows a year, so we have open auditions, which means all students are eligible to come in. We do not precast our shows, so students can really just come in and they have an equal shot or a fair shot at getting as good a part as anybody else.
Is there other roles in drama program besides acting?
Yeah, so in addition to being on stage, we have lots to do backstage. With our new auditorium, we have the ability to have bigger sets and more things that move on and off our stage. We have lighting, sound, spotlights, all sorts of technical things that also are part of our program.
What happens during a daily rehearsal?
So putting a show together has lots of different components. First and foremost, it's like sort of blocking or staging the actors to be where they're going to be at a specific time on certain lines. Acting coaching and things like that takes place. For the musical, it's about learning songs and choreography as well as learning the dialogue.
What has been different since doing plays in the middle school gym to now the brand new auditorium in the high school?
For us, it's just like a dream come true because Frollo, it was an old building. We didn't rehearse there, so all our stuff was at the old high school. We had to bring everything over to the Frollo. It was very labor intensive. So here at the new school, everything's built into our beautiful new auditorium, 750 seats. Our lighting and our sound are all built in. We're able to build and construct our sets on stage and be working on them long before we see an audience for our shows. So it's just been a tremendous advantage for our program.
Message to anyone who might consider joining drama?
It's really just about, like I said, stepping out of your comfort zone and sort of taking that risk, being brave and said, this is something I want to try, something I want to do, and like I said, showing up to do it. I think that's the biggest piece of advice I would give anyone who's thinking about being part of our program.
Now I decided to go talk to the main roles of the musical. What made you decide to get involved in the program?
It was actually Mr. Shannon that got me involved. I remember my freshman year, he came up to me and asked me if I wanted to audition for Damn Yankees, which was the show at the time. And I actually declined. And it's kind of one of those things that I really wish that I reconsidered. It took until my sophomore year when he came up to me again and asked if I wanted to audition for High School Musical. And it took everything in me to get me through those doors, but I did, and I auditioned. And, I never looked back.
What do you do within the program?
Well, I play Sandy, so I have to act and dance and sing.
Favorite memory of drama?
My favorite memory is definitely opening night of High School Musical my sophomore year. We were at the Frollo, and I was off stage waiting to come on, and there was a junior at the time who I met through the drama program, Dylan Gately, who's today he's my best friend. And it was sort of this really special moment. He was across the stage, off stage, and I was on the other side, and we sort of looked at each other. Neither of us had ever done drama or anything before then, and like this whole experience changed our lives. And I was just looking at him, and he was looking at me, and without words, we were just saying, let's do this. And I really can't describe what that feeling was like.
One time when Mr. Shannon wasn't here and we had to run a scene, and the scene that we were running, one character wasn't in, and so Connor had to step in and be Patty Simcox, and his voice went up like 18 octaves, and his voice started cracking. But we did really well role-playing and improvising.
Message to anyone who might consider joining drama.
Just get over the stereotype, If you think that drama is like, it's never something that you could do, I I used to have that mindset, and like I really don't understand why, and I can't explain it, but it's just sort of this thing that people believe, and I just think that more people need to really get over it, because there's so much that can be taken out of it for everybody.
My message to anyone considering to join drama is that it's not about the part you get, or if you were aiming for a certain role, it's not about getting that certain role. I think that it's just fun to be involved and like meet new friends, meet new people, and just be a part of it. I think that's more important and much more fun than like stressing about who you're gonna be or the audition or anything like that. Like, it's just something fun to be a part of, so you should all consider doing it.
Like all of the 7 students in this workshop, Connor was working very hard to produce his story. And Justin, I know that you had a lot of interest in the way these stories came out.
Yeah, I mean, this piece particularly, Connor is actually in the drama club, so he had a professional cameraman come take some of the shots. I think you saw him in the video. I'll take credit for that.
Justin Shanahan.
Thank you.
That was part of, you know, the process of learning, you know, what it takes to put a piece together, especially one that you're so involved in.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that piece?
Like you said, I'm involved in the program, so when Dan said pick something like a story that you can relate to or something that interests you, the first thing that came to mind was automatically the drama program. I feel like it doesn't get enough attention around the school as like sports do, like football, basketball. So I decided to bring light to it and just show like the insides of it, and hope for students to understand like what goes on, and so
and not to be afraid.
Yeah.
Did you get anything out of the workshop?
Well, I understood how to like do an interview better, or like how to set up and prepare rather, because when I did it before, like my videos in media production, it was a lot of just like on the fly, like coming up with stuff. But now you actually have to prepare, come up with a script.
There's a lot more challenging.
A lot more challenging.
Because we asked for a higher degree of production, more than just introduction.
Right.
We wanted to really challenge the students, and I think they did. Do you think it was a challenge?
Yeah, a little bit, especially with like the time that it took for me and my schedule.
Yeah, you had a heavy schedule getting ready for the play and all. Well, Connor, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
One of the first things I talked about for this video storytelling workshop was to keep your story simple. The simpler, the better. And I know that Connor's story was one of the most complex stories. You know, it is complex. It's very hard to put a really good video story together because you have voiceovers, you have interviews, you have stand-ups, you have nat sound, you have nat sound breaks. I mean, you know.
And, you know, as we were talking to Connor, scheduling, you know, a lot of that was when can we get a camera, when can we get the interviews, coordination between the studio and, you know, the subjects that you're looking to interview, and also location. So I think it was a challenge. I think it was good. Our next student is Reed Norton. Reed Norton was also in the media class. What was your experience in that media class?
I always liked making videos, so I wanted to take it because my friends were, and we just had fun making videos, learning new ways to make videos and new types of videos. It was fun.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about your video?
My video, it's about Derek Nuttall, how he like started off this season on JV, but like used motivation to become a varsity basketball player. And I knew he would do it because that's just who he is. He would love to be on a camera. And I wanted to ask him because I like his story and it was interesting to me.
All right, so we're going to take a look at that story now.
Derek Nuttall is a sophomore at Abington High School who loves basketball. Derek plays for the Abington High School's varsity basketball team. Derek also plays varsity soccer at Abington High School. He has a love for sports, and especially basketball. Now he's going to share that with us.
How I got into basketball? I've always played sports my whole life, you know. It's just fun to play, you know. Good exercise too, you know.
Derek is a motivated athlete. He went from never playing soccer to being a starting varsity goalie in his sophomore year. He started off the season on JV, but used this motivation to be on the varsity basketball team. Now here's how it happened.
I started off on JV, you know. I started the first few practices out here with, on varsity, and then he told me that he couldn't find any minutes for me, and I was like, all right, now I'll get better down on JV. And so that happened, and now I'm up here playing lots of minutes. It's pretty good.
Nice play by Derek. Some strong defense there by Abington.
Derek is only a sophomore, so he has a bright future for Abington basketball. Derek's great skill, work ethic, and love for the game of basketball make him have a bright future at Abington High School. Here's how he hopes that future will pan out.
My future, I hope it's going to be good, but I'm not really too worried about that right now. I'm mostly worried about the season that's going on right now. Trying to get that ring. That's our goal this season. And future, me and Matt McGuire are going to be seniors, and we're both playing right now, playing big minutes, and hope something good happens, you know. Get another ring if you can. That'll do.
I was really impressed with the piece, and I was also impressed with the young man who's playing basketball. I thought his philosophy about the future and not even thinking about the future and thinking about right now, the present, was a really important thing.
Just explain to us a little bit of what you got out of the workshop.
The workshop taught me that there's more to making a video than just filming and throwing it on an editing software and making it. You have to prepare, get all the things you need to make the video the best way that it could be made. And I think it's taught me that there's more to just a video than what I thought before.
Yeah, and you really didn't want to go on camera, so that's a pretty good thing. I think you've made tremendous strides in this workshop, as everyone has, all 7 students. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, Justin, I think it's really important that the students were able to do every aspect of producing this video story. And one of the important things for Reed was learning how to be on camera, because he didn't really want to do that, but he's very good at doing camera work and the off-camera stuff. So I think it was a really great experience that everyone had here.
Yeah, I mean, the workshop, you know, we geared it to raise the bar on our interns, on our program producers, to show them that, you know, take a challenge, take a chance, and, you know, become better and be better, because that's the only way you're going to really know how to do it.
Right.
Right now we have Bobby. Bobby Malloy was another student who went through the media class. Just give me a bit of your history of the media class. How did that go with Steve Shannon?
It was really fun. I didn't think about taking it at first, and then all my friends said, oh, like, we're gonna do it. So I thought I'd try it. Yeah. I didn't think it was gonna be like something I would do later on. I thought it was just gonna be like an easy class, but it ended up being like a lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much, and I kind of wanted to take it on more and find out more about it, not just the filming and editing part, but everything else after that, and like directing and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
And then you came to our video storytelling workshop, and we're going to take a look at the story you produced.
Mr. Cutter is an English teacher at Abington High School and the new head coach of the Ultimate Frisbee team. Last year was his first year coaching, and I wanted to find out more on how it went.
It was awesome. I mean, I'd always been slightly interested in the sport anyway. I'd known of it. I've played a few games here and there. I've seen it on TV, the rare occasions that it is. But to actually be involved in it to that extent, be able to be in games and strategize with people that actually know what they're doing, and just learn so much about it in such a short period of time was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
My next question was about how his first game went and how the team played.
Well, our first game was it's like Oliver Ames and the pouring rain, and I knew nothing about them, and it was the first time we played a legit game, so I really didn't know what to expect. And the fact that you guys played so well, and in the rain, in the cold, against a team that was, I mean, honestly, it wasn't that challenging of a game, but the conditions made it a lot more challenging than it was. And just winning that game and realizing what you guys could do, it made me happy. And I think the rest of the season just went up from there.
For my third question, I asked him what he expected for his first season and for the team.
Oh, that was awesome. It was beyond anything that I expected to start. I expected to have fun. I wanted to have fun. I knew it was a fun sport. I didn't expect us to be as successful as we were, and I feel like that was, I don't know, it was a great feeling, especially beating, I mean, that tournament it wasn't going to be that hard, but it turned out being a lot harder than we expected it to be. I think the competition kicked it up a lot in the semifinals and the finals, so it was good.
For my fourth question, I asked him what improvements he and the team could make.
Improvements for the team and myself are essentially just more conditioning, getting in shape a lot more than we were, and then being able to really nail down more than just like the basic ultimate plays. I want to be able to get us to do some cool things, be more organized, and just do even better.
For my last question, I asked Mr. Cutter to explain Ultimate Frisbee in one sentence.
Ultimate Frisbee is probably the most exciting, fast-paced sport you can play with a Frisbee.
Listen.
Yeah! And that'll do it.
That's the 15th.
Abington wins the 2018 Hingham Tournament.
Social League Tournament champs.
And Bridgewater Red, you really
Bobby is really comfortable on camera, but one of the hardest things for the students to learn was about writing a script. And when you write a script, you're actually preparing for the story, so it's helping you to understand the images that you need to gather for the story. And so writing a script was a real important thing for the students to learn.
Yeah, and I mean, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I never really wrote a script during media production. I kind of just went on the fly. We got a project and I thought of some good clips to take, and that was really it. We never really wrote a script. So doing that was a different approach to it. I really liked it though, and it made me very, how do I say, it made me very organized, and yeah, I just never really thought about that.
Yeah. It helped you focus more on how to sequence a story and get it all in the orders that you want, so that you can say the things that you want to say through the story. Yeah. And you did a great job, so thanks so much for being in the workshop.
Good job. Dan, one of the things that I like about this workshop is really how challenging it was to all of the students. I mean, from not wanting to be on camera, not knowing how to write scripts, dealing with schedules, not really knowing the dynamics behind the equipment. You know, it really made these students, you know, engage in what we were looking to do.
You know, and I was really impressed with how they took this workshop on and the accomplishments that they made in this, I think, 6 short weeks that we've been doing this. Yeah. Our next intern is Aaron Johnson, who's not afraid to be in front of the camera. And Aaron, I saw you on a podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I joined the Green Wave Gazette with my friend Matt to make this podcast, and we really love to create. So we found that we have a beautiful cam studio in our school, and not many people have this resource, so we saw it as an opportunity to basically just be creative and do what we love.
Dan, this was one of the things that I was talking about. Mr. Shannon has a class, he does his studio production. The Green Wave Gazette has their thing, they do you know, journalism and photojournalism, and this workshop, you know, kind of brings it all together.
Yes.
And I think we're going to take a look at your piece right now.
Yeah.
Bryce Tolan is a South Shore League All-Star track and cross-country runner for Abington High School, but he hasn't always been competing.
When I entered high school, I actually had no plans of running track or cross-country, but after trying out for soccer, I was keeping up with the kids' conditioning, and I did throughout the season, and then the soccer captains were actually the track captains, so they convinced me to do track.
He seemed to arise to the occasion this year, getting a time of 2 minutes and 45 seconds in this year's new winter track program, a school track record. When asked about his final season with AHS, he was really optimistic and excited.
I just want to make the most of it. Most of all, I want the team to have a winning record, which hasn't happened since I've been here, and I hope I could break the 800-meter school record before I leave.
Bryce hopes to pursue track and cross country after high school. He hopes to go to.
My top schools are Villanova, Babson, Bentley, and Boston College. hopefully whichever school I attend, I'll be able to make their track team, and I hope to make the most of it.
Dan, this piece, it was put together fabulously. You know, it's tightened. Aaron came into this. You didn't even know how to edit, did you?
No, I'm usually just like a pretty face on our podcast. I don't really do much of the editing. My co-host Matt does it all. So this is really like a different step for me. I want to go like behind the scenes, you know, actually make a project than just be in the project.
Can you just tell the people, how was it, you know, your first time editing and putting this piece together?
I feel like it would have been easier if I didn't get so many challenges thrown at me. So I had everything all planned out to begin with. And then my original person, he couldn't be on the show anymore. So then I had to kind of improvise 2 weeks in, and I got a new person on. But the challenge with that was I didn't have a lot of footage to work with. So I got a lot of challenges thrown at me, and it was really hard to build a story on it. I tried my best, but I think
all
it's
this
good.
while not really knowing, you know, the fundamentals and the expertise that, you know, we bring to the editing.
So, Aaron, would you recommend this workshop to other students?
Absolutely. It was a great way to learn like Adobe Premiere and all the aspects of it. I feel like if I made another piece, or I will make another piece, obviously, it will be much more, I don't know, much more planned out, much more scheduled, much more polished. It's just going to look better because of this workshop. It's really been a great experience.
Right, because Justin was talking about tightening up a piece, and then there is so much. When he talks about tightening up a piece, it means, you know, really getting everything in sequence and just making it spark. And thank you for being a part of the workshop.
And thank you very much for having me.
Great job.
You know, I was pretty amazed with the work ethic and perseverance that the students showed, because I mean, it was only 6 weeks that we were trying to teach them so much, you know, and we learned ourselves that it was way too much to try to teach students all in 6 weeks. I mean, Aaron started a week late, so he really only had 5 weeks to produce the story that he produced. That's pretty impressive.
Not only that, I mean, during the time, you know, we're dealing with basketball schedules and drama plays, and we missed 2 weeks, you know, from the weather.
Right.
We've just seen the stories from 4 of the student interns at the Abington High School's Access Television studio. They have shown us through pictures and sound the stories they wanted to tell. In the next episode of Video Storytelling, we will meet 3 more student interns and see their stories.
What editing really takes.
Stories about the world they live in every day. Stories that matter to them. Stay tuned for more from a whole new generation of storytellers, telling the stories that matter to our community.
Good morning and welcome to the Abington Cam studio. My name is Bobby Malloy and I'm an intern from the Abington High School. I'm here to talk about how to get started with the Abington Cam and how you can help volunteer to record events like the school play, faculty meetings, and Abington High School sports events. And it only takes 3 simple steps. Step 1, contact Abington Cam by calling the number on the screen right here, or by emailing our executive director, Justin Shanahan, at justin@abingtoncam.org. Step 2, Tell them what you're interested in filming and when you are available. Step 3. Come to 201 Glenwick's Way, Abington, Mass. On the day of the event, about an hour to an hour and a half before the show, game, meeting, or other event. That's all for today, folks. Tune in next time for more information on how to help the Abington Cam.